Just a few days ago, an Air Force base in Pathankot was attacked by terrorists that entered the country from Pakistan. Since then, 7 security personnel have been killed, and India has uncovered actionable information that links these attacks to Pakistan-based terror groups. So right now, I have only one question for Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. Was this attack because of the pink turban? Because it feels like you did it because of that turban. It was a joke, dude. Chill out. But honestly, to blame Nawaz Sharif for this attack or to blame him for anything that Pakistan does is just pointless. If you're going to blame Nawaz Sharif for these attacks, you might as well blame Wasim Akram. Yeah, they're on the same level. They're both very popular in their country, they're both very famous, and the ISI and the army don't listen to either of them. Yeah, the army basically treats Nawaz Sharif like you would treat your dad. When he's telling you what to do, you don't actually listen to a word he's saying, but you sit there and pretend to listen because at some point you're going to need him to write you a check. Beta, you must do an MBA. No, Papa, I want to attack India. So don't blame Nawaz Sharif. He's just a dad with some really out of control teenagers. For our top story, we're going to talk about drugs. To be specific, I'm going to try and convince you why India needs to legalize that shit. Yeah, like you need convincing. You're probably high right now. Why else would you be watching this show? But there's more at stake with drug legalization than just your own personal recreation. Remember the Pathankot attacks I was talking about a minute ago? If you don't, put down the joint, bro. I think you've had enough. It has long been common knowledge that Punjab has a crippling drug problem. In fact, a study by the Narcotics Bureau claimed that nearly 40% of men in Punjab are addicted to drugs. Now, where do you think all those awesome drugs come from? Of course, it's Pakistan. Pakistan is like traffic. You can blame pretty much every problem you have on it. Rajiv, why are you late today? Sir, Pakistan. This is not done. You were supposed to be here at 9. Darling, there was Pakistan and then I took a right turn and then there was more Pakistan. To be fair though, the drugs are produced in Afghanistan, smuggled into Pakistan and then smuggled down to Punjab. Which means there's a direct route from Afghanistan, otherwise known as terrorist Disneyland, to Pakistan, otherwise known as terrorist Imagica, not quite Disneyland, but give them 10 years, they'll get there, to India, otherwise known as terrorist target practice. Now, I wonder how the terrorists got into the country. Let me think. Did they take a train? No, they were trying to book more than 6 tickets. RCTC would have crashed. Did they fly Air India? No, even terrorists refuse to fly Air India, so no, that's not happening. Oh, wait. Yes. They probably took the exact same route and used the exact same methods that drug smugglers use every day. In fact, it stands to reason that smugglers were in on it. Yeah, that joint you're smoking may have been involved in the Pathankot attacks. And the really scary thing is that that statement is only a slight exaggeration. Globally, the use of heroin and opium funds terror groups in Afghanistan because they're the ones growing the opium. And it's happened before. America's drug consumption funded the Colombian drug cartels, who caused the deaths of thousands of innocent people and made a man named Escobar the richest dude in the world. But if all that stuff hadn't happened, we wouldn't have narcos, so I think it was all worth it. There's also Africa, a major player in India's illegal drug trade. Their drug profits fund all kinds of fun things like bombings, child soldiers, Boko Haram. Yeah, everyone's having a great time. This is where legalization comes in. No one should have to give money to Al-Qaeda or their local neighborhood gangster just because they want to get a little high. That's why we're going to talk about Colorado, an American state that legalized marijuana just last year.
In a city with dispensaries as common as coffee shops, Denver is undoubtedly the epicenter of America's legal marijuana movement. And if you're in the business of bud, it's a good place to be. Colorado accounted for a third of the country's $2.7 billion marijuana market last year.
Oh, and guess what? Legalization in American states hit the Mexican drug cartels hard. According to a Mexican institute, it dropped their business by 30% in just 1 year. And not to get materialistic about this, but Colorado also made more than $70 million in taxes from the sale of marijuana last year. Can you imagine if we had that kind of money? We could do so much awesome shit. We could give Sushma Swaraj her own plane, which she would use exclusively to rescue migrant workers. She could fly into Qatar, stick her hand out of the plane, come with me if you want to live, grab the migrant worker, fly out of Qatar and tweet victoriously. Also, if there's leftover cash from the plane, we could maybe use it for rehab and drug education programs. But the plane is the top priority, I assure you. Now, Colorado isn't the only example. Let's take a look at Portugal, which decriminalized all drugs in 2001.
In 2001, Portugal came up with a policy that would put its people first. A new law enabled citizens to possess small amounts of any illegal drug. It would no longer be a criminal offence for mostly casual users to enjoy their vice of choice.
Now, decriminalization is great, but I said legalize for a reason. Because legalization means that drugs can be produced in the country. They can be tracked and monitored, and you might even, God forbid, have to buy them from a government website. And that's what we need right now. Okay, let me address your number one fear. That if marijuana and cocaine become legal, everyone is going to become a crazed addict. Actually, you know what? You're right. You can't put an addictive and possibly dangerous substance on the market and make it available for mass consumption. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't talking about cocaine, I was talking about cigarettes. Actually, I wasn't talking about cigarettes, I was talking about alcohol. Actually, I wasn't talking about alcohol, I was talking about processed sugar. Everything comes with health risks, but adults can make informed decisions. Portugal and Colorado have not become drug-crazed hellholes. These two places have taught us that decriminalization and legalization works. Meanwhile, Pathankot has taught us that our current drug strategy doesn't work at all. Look, I know we make jokes here and this is kind of a stupid show, but with all sincerity, I'd like to express our unending gratitude to the men and women who fought at Pathankot. And of course, our thoughts and prayers are with the families of those brave soldiers who lost their lives. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.